We don't lose ourselves all at once. It happens incrementally, over time, in the smallest of moments. Every time we say yes when we mean no. Every time we stay silent when we want to speak up. There is a cost to abandoning ourselves. And that's what I want to dive into today. We abandon ourselves in so many instances, or we can. We have the option of abandoning ourselves in so many instances. In work, in relationships. I can't think of any other examples, but I'm sure there are plenty. We change ourselves to please others. We do something because we believe that's what's expected of us or needed of us in a given circumstance, and we want to be of service to that other person. But we can only truly be of service to others when we're ultimately serving ourselves. When we know that our needs are being met and that we can then pour from a full cup. But so often we're trying to pour from an empty cup. And that's when we have strain, when we have arguments, when we face burnout. Because we have no capacity left. We have no bandwidth more to give. And it comes in sacrifice. And there are sacrifices which you can make, and sacrifices which really don't serve you to make. So it's working out which ones you're willing to do in order to serve the greater good, the situation, the job, the relationship, whatever it may be. There are times in which a sacrifice is needed. And when that's acceptable to you, then I see no reason not to do it. Because the sacrifice is not too great. But sacrifices can come to the point where they are too great. And the greatest sacrifice is abandoning yourself in all of that. And that is about having an understanding and having clarity of what it is that you are, of who you are and what you want in this life, in this world. Because when you have clarity around that, and when you can speak openly and honestly with transparency around that, then you can work out clearly with ease and comfort which sacrifices you are willing to make and which sacrifices you are unwilling to make. Which sacrifices are too great that you're actually abandoning yourself. And this is what my work centers around, is on helping people draw that line for themselves. Working out what is truly valuable to them. What is your hierarchy of needs? What do you need in this life? What do you want from this life? Because you have the capacity to create it. You have the capacity to build it. Anything that you want is within your reach, provided that you begin taking the steps to get there. But bending your whims to what somebody else wants, to what somebody else needs, without taking into consideration your wants and needs, can lead to a very tricky situation where resentment starts to build, where there's anger, where there is muddy waters. And it can become harder and harder to find what really we want of a situation, because ultimately in that moment we just want more harmony, less noise. And we begin to lose ourselves. And just as putting a frog in a pan of cold water and gently raising the temperature, we don't really know that we're doing it. We think that these are things that we have to do. We think that this is a path that we can't get off of, until we find ourselves in very tricky situations, heartbreaking situations sometimes. Sometimes situations that force our hand and are entirely out of our control, which then catapult us into this place of being able to see clearly for the first time. A realization that we have been sacrificing ourselves too much, that we have abandoned the things which are so important to us in order to keep another person happy. And this is very much intertwined with this idea of individuality as well. And we live in a world that's focused on the individual. And I am tentative around that subject, because although I work with individuals in terms of finding their personal freedom, having the strength to understand who they are, it's partnerships that we're literally born for. We are a social creature. We are supposed to connect with other people. And whichever journey it is that we're on, it's those connections to people around us that reflect the work that we've done on ourselves. They are a mirror to show us how far we've come on this journey. But you need to make sure that what you're doing is true for you. And that takes listening. It takes being connected, slowing down, and listening to what is going on inside. And that's the journey I encourage you to take. To listen to what's alive in you. What is your body telling you? The body has wisdom beyond words. So listen. If this resonates with you, please leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. But besides that, I'm wishing you well. I'm sending loads of love your way. I'll see you next time.